So here he limps, gets ISO'd, and pretty standard 3-bet by me. And limper calls and the razor folds, which is kind of funny. Flop is ace high, which is bad. But I mean, with a 2-to-1 stack spot ratio, it's gonna be hard to press a fold against this guy. There's a bunch of draws and stuff as well. So I think the best play is probably check and call down. 'Cause, we saw him bet the kings before, so it's very likely that he'll bet like any pair here. I'll get value from 7s and 5s and worse draws and all sorts of stuff. He does bet on the smaller side, which usually concerns me, but I think he's just kind of, so fishy that he's kind of unaware of what standard bet sizing is, and I mean, it's on the smaller side, but it was a big, like, bloated 3-bet pot. So I'm not too concerned that he's, like, really nutted up. But I think I'm just have to get it in. Then when the second ace turns, I'm definitely not folding against this guy. He bets smallish again. Question is whether I jam or just flat here. I think the better play would be to jam, because I don't think at this point he's going to fold draws if he has 8-6 or hearts, and I don't think he's going to fold just a naked 7 either. So I think the better play is to jam here. I think I call, which isn't terrible by any means, but I think I should just be jamming there. River is like the worst ever. I do have the king of hearts that kind of blocks some good amount of flush draws he can have, but he can still have hearts here. I mean, obviously his pre-flop range is super wide. Again, he bets like almost my whole stack, which is frustrating. But again, I don't think I can really fold to this guy. So I call, and he's gone runner for the boat, which is awesome. So very quickly, I'm down to 7 big blinds, and I feel like this is a point where a lot of rigs just say, fuck it, this tournament's over, just monkey jam it in, and just kind of move on to the next one. But I really don't like that attitude, honestly. I mean, it's kind of like throwing a $50 bill on the ground. I mean, you never do that. So I try to play these out correctly all the way to the end, regardless of my stack size. So here I've got under 7 big blinds, and I believe this is a relatively easy shove. Well, I say you don't want to just monkey jam it in. At the same time, when your chips are so low relative to the rest of the field, your equity is just going to be very, very tiny. So you're definitely going to be getting it in much wider than, say, if you had 6 big blinds at 75-150. So that is consideration, but I just think people go really overboard with it and just start shoving any two in really stupid spots. Here I don't jam it and actually make it 3 big blinds, which is kind of a trick I do a lot. Basically, it's kind of a way to get more fold equity, because I feel if I jam in my full puny stack of 210, 212, I think people are going to call it off pretty light. Well, basically, I think they're going to call it lighter than they would just if they saw a standard open raise. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do here, is kind of catch the mass tablers that are playing a bunch and don't really see that I'm incredibly short stacked. So I'll kind of try to exploit that by making a standard raise there when I'm obviously just getting it in. Kind of interesting spot here. I lead out with the open ender, which I think is fine / standard. Turn is interesting. It's seemingly good for me in that I have a pair, and I of course still have my open ender, but it just connects a lot, makes a lot of 2 pairs and straights and other stuff. So again, I feel like this is a time when a lot of guys just, fuck it, shove it in, I have 300 chips. But I really don't think it's the best play here, even though this guy is kind of a monkey. It's just really hard for this turn not to hit him, even when he's on such a ridiculous range. He comes out firing pretty strong. which makes me think that he's not nutted, doesn't have a straight, but I think 2-pair is very reasonable, or just king 10 or whatever, none of which I'm in fantastic shape against. So I like folding there. I do still have 7 big blinds, so I'm in perfectly fine shape. It would have been kind of a close shove here had Asian folded. I think it's probably a fold though. Standard play here, and snaps me off with king 6 off. I got 15 big blinds, and 8s are going to be a easy shove again. Snaps me off with king 2. I think, yeah, just fold the big blind here. If he made it 125 or less, I would probably defend. Defending here is not crazy, but when he makes it kind of on the bigger side, 3 big blinds, I don't mind being a little passive there. Again, had Jackal made it a little smaller, this would be a reasonable 3-bet opportunity, because he does open a good amount of pots, especially as the blinds increase and we get closer to the bubble. So I'd like to take advantage of that fact. But it makes it a little more difficult when he makes it 150. So now I have to make it a very minimum of 300. Probably making it like 325 or something typically, which begins to become a good portion of my stack. Certainly playing here. I'm definitely playing the hand, obviously. Question is whether I'm flatting or 3-betting. And I think, well, I guess I haven't really seen him raise a ton of hands, doing a lot of limping. And he knows coming for the min raise, so there's the small chance they could have aces, kings, whatever. So I guess erring on the side of safety and just calling here is probably proper. So then I flop the mortal nuts, and the last thing well, in my eyes, the mortal nuts, but the last thing I want to happen is for a fishy player that's going to call with just anything to check back the flop. So I really don't want the flop to check through. So I like to lead out here. I lead out really big, which is completely unbalanced, but just doesn't fucking matter. And he min raises me, which again has proved to be pretty strong in the past, but I mean, I'm not folding top pair, top kicker. And really, I think I should just jam it in on the flop. I'm kind of surprised I just flatted there. But important thing is that I'm never folding at any point. So certainly I'm getting all the chips in here, I imagine. Yes. And we're chopping, unfortunately. But yeah, this guy's just playing every pot. King Jack here with 14 big blinds. Yeah, just jam it in. Don't want to raise fold. Don't really want to get in sticky situations. Playing post flop out of position. Wow. All right. Let's run this back just for entertainment purposes. Checks the flop. Calls the flop check raise with Jack high. Calls a turn check raise with Jack high. You can probably safely fold the river. No! He calls the river, no problem. And he's busted out with fucking Jack high against the most heat I've ever seen. It's pretty absurd. Pocket Jacks, a little different than the King Jack. Here, I'm a little more comfortable playing flops, so I don't mind coming in for a small raise. And C-bet the flop is standard. Definitely betting the turn, because I'll definitely be using that as a barrel card sometimes. As far as sizing, I think I should probably bet a little smaller for my entire range. I mean, it's kind of semantics, maybe bet like 330 or something. Just because it looks really committing when I only have 630 behind. But I get flatted there, and I've got less than half pot left. And I think I just have to jam it in there. Trying to think. Because, yeah, I don't think he can really have many bluffs, because I think he would just probably jam the turn. So, at this point, I'm just trying to get value from a 9, basically, or, yeah, pretty much just a 9, and praying he didn't spike a king that he didn't 3-bet pre-flop, or spike a 7, which is also possible. But yeah, I think I'm missing value if I just check there, and I don't think he's going to be bluffing with anything. So actually just fold. Just kind of curious because I'm not entirely sure what he had.